Welcome to Chef Gregory's Kitchen. Recently, Chef Gregory had an epic fail camping. He tried to cook a piece of beef like this on a charcoal grill. Well, after letting his meat cook for about an hour and a half on this charcoal grill, it was just shoe leather. Reason being is Chef Gregory consumed too many of these. It did not check his thermal probe for what temperature he had. Not the temperature that he's reading, but the degree, which was in Celsius. So we had a Celsius steak. And boy, that was tough. Epic fail. This time, we have a new London broil, which just is a top round steak. We've already salted this meat for 1 hour. And what I mean by salted is that we covered the entire steak with kosher salt and let it just sit at room temperature with that kosher salt on. Then I rinsed that kosher salt off and I put it in a teriyaki marinade that I came up with. Now, we're going to let it sit on this countertop for an hour to come to room temperature. As you can see, my thermal probe is set at 70 degrees. So I won't make the mistake of being in Celsius again. I'm going to insert this probe. And we're going to do this out on my gas grill this time, which we're going to do a quick sear, and then we're going to do a slow roast to bring it up to 135. So as you can see, this meat is now at 55 degrees. So we're going to let it sit for about 45 minutes before we toss it out there on the grill. And what we're going to do is we're just going to sear both sides, and then we're going to do an indirect cook and bring it up to temperature. And hopefully this time we won't have shoe leather. Basically the salt, oh, you're probably wondering why I salted it. Well, my older brother said, hey, you got to go on YouTube, check out this dude that salted his London broil, because a London broil is a tough cut of meat. And there's two ways about it. It's just tough. So the salt apparently breaks down the fibers in the meat, making this a better cut to eat. So we're going to find out or not. So I did both. I salted it and then I marinated it. So hopefully those two processes is going to give us an excellent cut tonight to have with our rice and salad. Okay, welcome back with Chef Gregory. As we have our London broil. We've brought up to room temperature, which is about 60 degrees. So we have our gas grill, charbroil gas grill, preheated, and it is at about 525 right now. So it's a good hot grill. We're going to put a good sear on this London broil, and then we're going to slowly bring it up to temperature. So we're going to go ahead and put that on. Ooh, not too close. We're not worried about really grill marks with this cut of beef because we're going to slice it really thin after we're done, because that's what you do with London broil. You slice it thin. So basically we just want a good sear, and we're going to let that hood down. Get us a good sear on there. It'll take about 3 minutes or so on each side. We'll probably go 6 minutes a side. It's pretty thick London broil. It's about 2 inches, so we'll be right back. Okay, so we got about a minute before we want to flip this steak and sear. We got our temperature almost up to 650 degrees in this hot charbroil gas grill. We got all 4 burners going. We just got one piece of meat on it. And our temperature has reached 80 degrees, so we're coming up, and we're getting ready to flip here. Oh, it's time to flip. Let's take a look at this beast. Ooh. And what we're going to do, we're going to flip it right to a section of hot grate so that we get a nice sear on it. So we don't want to just flip it onto the same spot we were at. So we're going to flip it right to a very hot part of the grill here. And look at that color. Oh, that's coming together great. That marinade I put on there, that Hawaiian type teriyaki sauce that I come up with, got a good Good looking color, good looking color. And we're going to sear that for another 6 minutes. And then we're going to turn our burners down and bring it up to 125, 130, around there, about a medium, low medium, or a rare. So come back and see us in about 6 minutes. Okay, welcome back to Chef Gregory. We got about a minute before we're going to turn off these two burners here. And we're up to about 103 degrees right now with our sear. Our charbroil grill is up to 570 degrees. That will come down considerably once I lift the lid and turn off those two burners. So we got just about 30 seconds probably. If I can see, I wish I had my glasses on. I don't have this. This is a digital watch, so I don't have the seconds. But we'll be flipping here shortly and waiting for this to come up to temperature. So we just hit 105 on the thermometer. And let's see, we're still waiting. Oh, there we are. We got a good 6 minutes. So, oh, that looks beautiful. Beautiful, as you can see. So we're going to turn these two burners off. We're going to bust this off of the grate here. Oh, that thing's looking awesome. Look at that color on that piece of meat right there. That is awesome. So we're at 108. And what we want to get to is about 130 or so. We're going to turn down these burners. It shouldn't take but about 15 minutes or so to bring that sucker up to temperature. We're going to close the lid again. And we'll see when that bad boy gets up to temperature. Okay, welcome back to Chef Gregory. We've let our London broil sit out and indirect after we did our sear. We've reached a temperature of 131. So we're going to take this off and we're going to let it rest to bring it up to our medium rare of 135. It's probably going to hit 140 or so, but that's okay. We like it medium rare to medium rare. So we're just going to leave the thermometer in, let that go, and we're going to go in and cover this bad boy up. Look at that steak. Doesn't that look beautiful?
Looks beautiful indeed.
Looks beautiful indeed. So we're like climbing already. It's just sitting here. We're at 132. So we're going to head inside. We're going to cover this up, and we're going to let it rest. And then after that, then we have our rice cooking in the microwave. Loose tent rest here, and here we go. Welcome back to Chef Gregory. This steak here is a redemption steak for an epic fail I had while camping with my brothers. So what we did was a London broil. We salted it for an hour. And then we rinsed that salt off, and then we marinated it for 3 hours, and then we did a sear, and then we brought it up to temperature. As you can see, we've let our London broil rest. It is sitting at 134 degrees, which is in between rare and medium rare. So we're going to take this bad boy up, and you can see we have very little juice on the plate, so that means at our steak suck that juice back in. We're going to remove the probe, and of course with all London broils we're going to slice this bad boy across the grain. So we're going to take it off the platter and we're going to set it on a cutting board, and I'm going to slice it right down the center, because that's where we're going to have our rarest beef. I'm going to turn that around for you to take a look at that. Oh, that looks good. But looks are deceiving, so what we want to do is, of course, we have to do the taste test. So we're going to slice that. Look at that. You can see where the marinade got in on that meat there. Look at the juices running in that meat right there. Look at that. That is totally awesome. And of course, we want to do the pull test. Oh, look how that just pulls apart. Now, for the best part, the taste. Wow, that's outstanding. Outstanding. Look how that just pulls apart. And as you chew, that salt broke down that fiber so it doesn't come back. You know, a regular London broil, as you cook it, if you don't do that salt, it gets tough. This is almost like sirloin. That's how tender this is. And we have Kimba sitting here. Whoa, Kimba. Kimba's laying meat. Oh yes. Kimba gets a little taste of the meat. All right, Kimba gets this thing approved. And we have our film man, Nicholas. He's going to get us a taste of beef. He looks at, oh, he's like, his eyes are popping. So
very good.
We're good. All right. So that concludes Chef Gregory. I think I've redeemed myself on my steak. Tom and Terry, sorry guys, you're not here to enjoy this steak. You got Celsius steak. Have a good evening.